It's Levack Goz on 104.5 The Team.
We are live from the atrium here at the Times Union Center, and we are joined by Ashante Shivers and Jimmy Patsos. Nothing going on this weekend, guys, right? We can just chill out, talk about football.
Chill out, talk about the Angels pickup. They did good. That's where the guy picked, right?
Yeah, Tani is going to be the pitcher for the Angels. So
didn't want to play in New York, huh? Too scared?
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, when you're the Japanese Babe Ruth and you don't play in the house that Jeter built, I mean, that doesn't make sense.
See, that's why Shivers came here, right? To play in New York, right?
Of course. I love New York.
There we go. I like it. All right, let's start with Louisville. You guys really played hard against Louisville. You look good.
Played hard. Good 25 minutes, and then we turned it over a few times, and we're trying to limit. We're trying to still play fast, but limit some of our turnovers. And when you play a team like Louisville, they're going to turnovers turn into points. But good experience. Sammy Friday was excellent. Which, we have different guys proving they can play, whether it's Roman, Penn, and Shivers has been pretty consistent all year, but Penn stepped up, Friday stepped up. So what you want to do is see if you can get some guys more consistent, but they've shown they can do it. And Shivers, you like playing at Louisville, right?
Yeah, I love playing at Louisville. It was a fun experience. I mean, like you said, we played them hard. We played them hard for 25 minutes, so it was tough for us. But, it was a good experience for the team. I definitely think it's going to help us going forward in the MAC.
Did you like Churchill Downs, Shivers?
I definitely did. I can't wait. I need to get my own. I need to see my own. I need to get a horse in that race.
You're going to get a horse? See, that's all. I mean, Siena grads, you're going to do well, I'm sure.
Well, he's already got an internship. We visited Integra Optica. It's a big company, a lot of Siena grads over by the airport, fast-growing company.
Yep.
Shivers, I said, you don't have to play ball. See, next thing you know, you'll have horses at Saratoga. You'll be working here the rest of your life, and we'll
be working for him.
See you on the first Saturday in May, right, Shivers?
Yeah, first Saturday in May.
For what? The most exciting 2 minutes?
2 minutes in sports.
See?
All right, so you're teaching him a horse game. Now, it's playing a team like Louisville. What does that do for you coming up Saturday for the Albany Cup?
I think it definitely prepares us well. I mean, we probably won't face another team as big as that like Louisville all year. So, it'll help us finish through contact, finish through the bigger guys. And they're a good team. They're good players. So I definitely think it'll help us going forward.
I want to give some love to that teammate. Coach, you brought it up. Sammy Friday, my goodness. I mean, I'm watching you guys playing against Louisville. I go, 35? Where's this kid coming from? Have you guys known he's been this good all season?
Sammy's been up and down. Everybody, remember, he's young. Shivers is only a sophomore. Sammy Friday is only a sophomore. And Shivers played, what'd you start, 3/4 of the games last year?
Mm-hmm. 3/4.
But Sammy, we had Javion and Brett in front of him, and Evan and him were sort of jostling. And then he turned it on in October. He hit a little lull. I thought he lost a little confidence against Florida Gulf Coast. Their big men had transferred from Michigan and stuff. But see, you play those teams, and these games are important. Come to the game tomorrow night. Great game versus Albany, one of the top Division I teams in the country, winning-wise. The last 10 years, Albany's record, what they've done, not just mid-major, but you get ready to play them by playing Florida Gulf Coast, who had really good big men. And I think Sammy saw Louisville's big men, wasn't as scared because he had played against Florida Gulf Coast. So hopefully when he sees Steyer tomorrow night, who's having a great year, and Charles and Campbell just do a lot of dirty work and get to the glass, but you hope Sammy can play with the same confidence because Albany's another really good team. We have a very interesting week. Louisville, Albany, Vermont in 6 days. Ooh. I ran into it. A coach coached in the Final Four 2 years ago, and he looked at me and he said, I wouldn't do Louisville, Vermont, and Albany in the same week. And his team was in the Final Four. But that's okay for us to do it because we also don't have to play in the ACC in January and February. You learn from these games, come out, it's a big game, come out for Holy Cross. These games are all important, and they get us ready for the MAC. But Albany, great team. But I think Cremo and Nichols might be the best backcourt in the country at the mid-major level. So you get those guys along with Steyer. That's why you play the Louisville to get ready for Albany.
Shivers, tell them that you're the best backcourt. Come on now.
Working on it. You're getting there. We're going to learn from these guys.
Trying to get there.
Well, I mean, and that's it's a big game Saturday. We had AP Tim Reynolds call in, and he went after you guys. Like I was in shock. Like I mean, you and I have talked about the team, Patsos. It's building. You can see the confidence building in Shivers right here.
Sure.
And I mean, when you hear a guy like Reynolds who asked us to ask that question, can I just be clear? He asked us to say, where's the panic level for Siena?
There is none.
Right. Well, and that's what you and I have said from the beginning. When you've got guys like that chirping at you, does that motivate? Does it anger?
Yeah,
what does it do?
No. I don't really listen to the outside noise anyways. Look, if I want coaching advice, I call Gary Williams. I call Jim Harrick. I text once in a while with Brad Stevens, not a lot, but like once a month we And I check in with John Harbaugh, the coach of the Ravens, about how to handle what you're going through building. My Ravens are 7-5. I don't know Jim. I know John Harbaugh. But his sister's married to Tom Crean. You know, that pressure, you can't listen to the outside noise. But we were in the same place last year as we are right now, and we're playing a more difficult schedule. That's okay. That helps us get better. John DiGenio and I work well on the schedule. We haven't played a conference game yet. We haven't even played half of our season yet. So we're getting better. I don't like some of the big losses, but I'm proud of the College of Charleston game. Overtime, Lehigh was a tough loss on the road. Overtime, they have the first team all-league point guard. We have all brand new players. So I don't really listen to any of that stuff. I listen to my wife, Michelle, who's here with me. But I talk to basketball people because basketball people know what a difficult schedule, and that we keep adding pieces to our puzzle. Yes, I'd like it all to come together, right, Shivers? But there are pieces being added, and we're getting better, and we're finding out who we are. We had, the least amount of minutes played of anybody in the country coming back. I think there's 350 teams. We had, the 327th. That's how many minutes we had coming back. Everybody in the country had more minutes than us coming back. That being said, we're working on some stuff, but we're positive. I think practice is good. Our energy's good. Nobody was freaking out after the Louisville game. Nobody freaked out after the Charleston game when we lost in overtime to a team picked to win their league. But are we learning, are we listening, and are we getting better? Yeah, but we're a little roller coastery. I have freshmen and sophomores playing.
You talked about the roller coaster feel to it, the energy and practice for both you guys. Question for both of you. For a rivalry game like it is tomorrow, does it feel different from a coaching side? Does it feel different from a player side? Can you feel the emotions, yeah?
Well, I definitely think it feels a little bit different. You want to get the edge on the team that's down the street from you. So, we talk about this game all season. We really want to beat these guys. So, we want to win every game, but this is definitely something special to us.
Do you ever run
Redskins, Ravens, and my Ravens are beating his Redskins, so he's getting mad. Now it's time to fight back.
Well, Shivers, do you see the guys? Do you ever see a Cremo out and about when you're, and if you do, what's it like?
If I see any of them in public, I probably won't speak to them, but it's definitely an experience. We see them. We know we're going to compete when we play each other. So,
but I like Cremo, and I'll tell you what I do. I see Cremo. I don't see the rest of them that much. And I had a good, the past players, Hooley over there and stuff. When I ran into him, if you get a piece of pizza or whatever, and Will and I are fine. Yeah. This is an interesting week, but they've got to worry about the America East, and we got to worry about the MAC. But this, again, is just another really tough team we're playing. But it's going to come down to them in Vermont. I think those two are going to meet in the championship again, and it was a whopping 2-point difference last year. But that's who we play. And St. Bonaventure, to whoever Tim Reynolds is, and I don't know who that is, and I don't care who that is, St. Bonaventure is going to come in second or third in the Atlantic 10. Florida Gulf Coast is going to win their league. Bucknell's going to win their league. Charleston's in the top 1 or 2 in their league. Louisville's going to go the NCAA. That's who we've played so far. Lehigh is going to contend. We won our 2 home games against Hofstra and Robert Morris, and Hofstra just had a big win. But I do agree that the 20 and 25-point losses aren't good, but I also worked for a coach that said, what's the difference between a 1-point loss and a 25-point loss? You're working on stuff and trying to get better. Now, when the conference comes, that's the next step for this team. But we have a lot of games to play, and for the average fan, I'd come out tomorrow night. It's going to be a really good game, and it's a fun game. It's a great. Yeah. You should see how great Times Union Center lives down here, and living down here and seeing how the progress the Times Union Center has undergone. Belber's done a great job. The whole inside. And next up is the Albany game here. But then we got to go to Vermont. But then we have Memphis, and then we have Bryant. But we had another game against a great powerhouse in the mid-major level for the last 50 years is Holy Cross. Now Carmody's taken them back. They went to the NCAA 2 years ago. We have a lot of Holy Cross alum in the area. On the 21st, and a couple days before Christmas, come down and see us play Holy Cross. That's a real team. These are real, and I'm not saying other teams aren't playing real teams, but for a young team, we have taken on a heady schedule, and that's okay because it's making us better, and we're learning, and we're tougher, and we get to see where we are tomorrow night. It's just another test. By the way, I had 4 players graduate and 4 players play pro, doing really well. By the way, 4 players graduate along with Jimmy Merrill last year, so that's 5 guys graduated. See, I care about their degree that they got less than a year ago, so everybody be careful before they push the panic button around here on the program.
Well, I'm never gonna let a guy like that come on the show and not give you a chance to rebut.
Oh no, it's fine. So. I think that's what the media is about. They don't, we're here to sell papers, and when you don't play well, the buck stops with me. But we are growing and getting better, and that's what counts. And Shivers and these guys are in it for the long run, right, Shivers?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, you see the confidence on Shivers' face. Like I think I'm glad you brought him because every player we've met so far this year, like you guys, there's no panic in that locker room. Mm-hmm. You can tell. I mean, look at you're ready to go play hoops right now. So like I that's what I see a team that's growing, and I don't even know that much. So I don't know. And
I haven't even looked at our league yet. I just know that Monmouth happened to beat Albany, and that was their only loss. And Monmouth King Rice can play, and everybody said that they're in our league, so that means they're really good. But I also have seen other teams in our league. Some beat, Bucknell beat Vermont. We got to play Vermont. We already played Bucknell. I know they're really good. So, but these are all teams that are up. This is a mid-major poll, and Albany, Vermont, Bucknell, College Charleston, Florida Gulf Coast are in the top 10 of this poll. We're trying to get back
Shivers,
in
did you
there.
ever look at him and go, can you put some cupcakes on here for us just to have some fun? Did you ever look at Coach
No
and go, what are you
cupcakes
doing
at
to
Siena.
us?
They don't do that at Siena.
No cupcakes.
Shivers, let me ask you this question. Leading up to the game tomorrow, what are your plans as a player? Like, are you going to enjoy Beanie Siegel tonight at the TU? What are you doing the next 24 hours,
No, he's
man?
not.
I just watch film with my team, and we game plan and see what the deal is for tomorrow. That's pretty much it.
Smart answer with Coach here, but we saw you. We saw you.
They like film. They get their little food. They get different food places they go to the night before, and they watch film with the coach that does the scout. I'm going recruiting, so they go with the night before. It's the players and the one assistant coach whose scout it is. It's Jordan Watson scout, and we're excited. We're 2-0 on Saturdays right now, but this is one of the better games in the country. I've said this before. It's like Xavier and Cincinnati. Because most rivalry games, Carolina, Duke, USC, UCLA, Oregon State, Washington, those are in conference rivals. It's very rare to have a game of this magnitude with this many 10,000 fans, two really successful programs in the same city that aren't in the same conference. And that's what makes this a unique little battle. And I've been part of Maryland, Georgetown, and this is just as big here. And it's a great event, and people should come out. But our young team's getting better. Roman Penn's starting to play a little bit. Nico's getting used to coming off the bench. I think he's accepted that that's a role that he can flourish in. And Prince Aduro and Christian Bentley have played 8 college games. They're very young guys that have a big future ahead of them. So stay with us.
All right, well, it is the Albany Cup. It'll be right here at Times Union Center, 7:30 tip tomorrow. I'm hoping for a great game, and I think that's exactly what we're going to see. Coach Jimmy Patsos, Ashante Shivers, the up and coming Mr. Shivers over here, and we appreciate you guys making some time
Shivers,
for us.
one thing we got to do tomorrow is what? Rebound the ball.
Rebound the ball.
See, we have to work on that. That's on me. We got to work on that. But they're an excellent rebounding team. You can check the stats on the rebounds.
See, two teams that respect each other, two teams that are playing really well, and like I said, after seeing the way you guys played against Louisville, I think all bets are off.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's going to be awesome, guys. Best of luck.
Appreciate it. And then Sunday night, my Ravens beat the Steelers. Bye.
I got to root against your Ravens. I'm a Raiders fan. I need all the help I can get. Coach Patsos, we love you, man. Shivers, best of luck tomorrow, and we look forward to the Albany Cup. Get your tickets. Don't miss.